Hello, I'm Chad Ziegler. I'm with Christiana Realty in Vail, Colorado. I start with that because I sell very, very high-end houses to, very fluent people. And I got into audio at a very youthful young age and had the big 6-foot Magnapan speakers when I was 16 years old in my bedroom, which made no sense in an apartment in Boulder, Colorado, and have just continued to kind of up-level my game as a background, which is where I would, put some of my dollars into my kills from, transacting real estate over the years. But I have really had a lot of fun with this most recent system that I set up. I started, oddly enough, guys, I'm going to blame Audioholics. Gene, if you're out there, you owe me a check, and spare change. I'm coming after you too, okay? Because these guys, honestly, if you guys have not listened to the forums with these guys, they are notable. They are so passionate and so knowledgeable that I learned a lot about what I didn't know. And then when I did learn it, I kind of had to have it. So there's a blessing and a curse. And then behind the scenes is also Dreamedia, which you can't let those guys off the hook, because these are the guys that are behind the scenes running the cameras for us right now. And they're the ones that do a lot of the footage for both of these people. So at any rate, I'm getting off focus a bit, but I started, guys, outside with the power, because I learned that it kind of starts at the beginning, right? So I first thought, oh shit, do I really have to pull in a dedicated circuit for the stereo? Well, once I learned that I needed it, I did. So I didn't pull one, but I pulled two. I pulled two 20 amp services into this room. And when I ran it, from an electrical standpoint, a 20 amp circuit needs a 12 gauge wire. I ran a 10 gauge wire because it was just a little bit more copper in there. And then I also did a wire that was variable that you could have just put right in the ground, but then I ran it through a Smurf cable to again isolate it. And then I ran it in behind the system, and then I got line conditioners from England that were actually not that expensive, but they have a way to ground them into a grounding stake that I ran in pounded copper, 6-foot stakes into my ground. So I got terra firma now grounding out my system. So I start there because this is the beginning, right? And I started out in various iterations, started out with MacIntosh amps because they're so pretty. But the sound to me was a little too soft. It didn't quite have the thump that I wanted. And as you start to realize what I've done with my system, you realize I kind of want to go for huge thump and big bass, and you need to be able to have those hits ready for you. So I kind of up-leveled with my system with what I've done over here. I started out, again, spare change. The Trinnov is in my system now because of you. And it is incredible, guys. It literally is the benchmark for a processor. If you're wondering what to do, just save up. Don't do it twice, do it once, and just get the Trinnov. I got the Trinnov 16. I will never look back. That piece is undeniable. So literally when the gunshots hit or the explosions happen, you feel it in your chest. I mean, it's stunning. So you won't hear it on this, but I will tell you, it's worth that experience. If you can keep your marriage together through doing this process, God bless you, because this is definitely something that certainly I think is sadly geared more towards the male ego. I think the females tolerate us and bless them. We all need them, but I think this is a bit more of a sport dominated or obsessed with by the male. There's that. So this is what I've done. We'll take a listen and hopefully you'll enjoy what you see. So I guess I'd also need to give a shout out to Perlisten. I started learning, I was an early adapter to Perlisten. And if you haven't figured these speakers out yet, guys, Google. So Perlisten is the first speaker in the world that got a rating of dominance from THX audio. So shout out to Perlisten Audio. These speakers, when I started researching and learning about them, I'm going to give them the same credit to the Tesla Model X Plaid I've got sitting in my garage, guys. And regardless of what you feel about electric, I think we all have to acknowledge that what Musk has done he's been a game changer. He has disrupted the industry as we understand cars. And it hasn't been changed since 1960. So Musk did that. Perlisten has now done that at that same level with speakers. And when I first heard about Perlisten and bought I bought all 5 speakers initially with no subs, and I had the 7s, and then I just switched to the limited editions, which sitting next to me is literally serial number 1. Yes, I'm the guy. I got it. I got 1 and I got 2. I have serial numbers 1 and 2 of the limited edition Perlisten speakers, and they are formidable, guys. There's no words to describe when this room gets pressurized by the 4 subs that are in here, plus these limited editions, which have their own whole nother level of bass that it's mental what you feel out of these speakers when you listen to them. It's like the hair on the back of your neck just stands up when you're watching that one scene where James Bourne is coming out and then the explosion happens and you're like, I'm like, what's going on? It's stunning. It was worth all the money. I would write the check again right now for that experience. Life's too short and this is too good. So I would just, again, Perlisten basically put up all their details, just like Musk opened his patents. Perlisten said, come get me, boys. They did all these incredible tests and they put up their specs for the world to view. People don't do that. We're all very sheltered and scared. I'm a real estate broker. There's 810 of us in the Valley. I'm a top 5 broker in this Valley, and I'm not worried about the competition because as far as I'm concerned, you take care of people, you're authentic with what you're doing, and you look after them, and it'll come back to you. I think Perlisten and Trinnov and too many others, Nordost. I'll give a shout out to Nordost. Their cables I have the top of the line power cables going into the 3 amps that I've got sitting behind me. And that was game changing. They're incremental changes, but all these little things do matter. And they all, at the end of the day, I'm really, really thrilled of where my system's at. It's always something you're kind of tweaking, but I feel like right now I'm at a place where I'm really comfortable with this current system and its setup.